After lockdown, regenerative and adventure tourism in Bali is growing popular. After many lockdowns, tourism along Bali's southern shore recovered rather fast, but nature and adventure tourism took a bit longer to take off. It should be noted that communities operating village and adventure-based tourism experiences further interior were outspoken about their need for help following the epidemic. Sandiaga, the tourism minister, has made no secret of his aim to market Bali as a vacation spot for serenity, spirituality, and sustainability. Numerous tourism-related businesses are increasingly concentrating on creating a sustainable and eco-friendly approach to their services. In Bali, ecotourism, particularly hiking tourism, is on the rise. Kampuhan Ridge Walk and Lempiong Temple Hike are two well-liked hiking routes on the Island of the Gods. Sunrise treks on Mount Batur and, if feasible, Mount Agung are other hikes that are a must-do. A community-based tourism effort called the Astunkara Way has connected more than 70 kilometers of historic trails to build a hiking trail that takes visitors to areas of Bali that aren't frequently visited. The literal translation of the Astunkara Way is God willing. Even though it was established in 2020, activity-based tourism is just now resuming its flow in Bali after borders were formally reopened in February of this year. Tim Fijal established the Astunkara Way and Learning Centre. 12 years ago, the Canadian environmentalist moved there and fell in love with Bali. But he soon became aware of the effects that tourism had on the island. He described the history of the Astunkara Way in a press conference. "We spent nearly a year planning the trail's route. Although each site has its own regeneration justification for being included on the route, they are all already established trails that have been cobbled together. Even those with a focus on farming or the environment are avoided by the trail. The route travels through a number of regenerative agricultural projects with tourist experiences available, as well as small-scale community-based tourism enterprises." The legendary 74-kilometer Astunkara Way runs from the island's southern shore to its northernmost point. The routes pass through agricultural country, little towns, and profoundly religious settings that are seldom mentioned in tour manuals or blogs. The experiment is a 10-day experience that includes events that let visitors interact with locals and the environment. The path may also be completed in a shorter 5-day span. Bali's tourism authorities are attempting to diversify the industry. They are advertising the island as a venue for significant conferences and meetings, as well as sports and marine tourism. Underneath it all, however, there is a recurring discussion about the necessity of ensuring that all developments, particularly those involving the tourism industry, are consistent with traditional Balinese values. Operators in the tourism sector, government officials, and residents all want to see the sector grow in a way that highlights the island's distinct history, way of life, and connection to nature. In order to draw more tourists to the north and west of Bali, Minister Uno has started a marketing effort. Areas like West Bali National Park are included. Governor Koster, who just yesterday announced that he will establish electric vehicle-only zones in popular tourist destinations by the end of 2023, is adamant that he wants to see the deployment of electric vehicles across the island and that the tourism industry should adopt the use of these vehicles as soon as possible. Recently, local officials have expressed their worries about the effects of development on the natural environment, particularly the loss of coastal habitats and farmland for tourist infrastructure. Given how heavily Bali's economy depends on tourism, it is a delicate balance to walk. There will always be a component of giving in to popular demand. The Astunkara Way and other tourist businesses give a peek of what Bali's tourism officials claim to want to see more of. This perspective is in contrast to claims made by the same government that additional planes are necessary to bring more visitors to the island and spur economic growth. Perhaps a happy equilibrium will emerge as Bali moves on in this post-pandemic age, just as it does